Ladies, I need you to listen closely to what I'm about to share, because for many of you, this may be the single most important conversation you've had about your health and independence. After the age of 60, something happens inside the body that most women don't realize. Every single day, you're losing muscle. Not just a little. Science shows that without proper nutrition and movement, you can lose as much as 1% of your muscle mass every single year. And what does that mean in real life? It means your legs don't feel as steady when you stand. It means your energy isn't there when you try to walk across a parking lot or up a flight of stairs. It means your confidence slowly slips away every time you feel a wobble in your balance. And most importantly, it means you begin to lose your independence. I've spent more than 25 years in medicine, working with women from their 50s into their 80s and 90s. And let me tell you something I've seen again and again. Most older women are not losing mobility because of age itself. They're losing it because no one ever told them how to feed their muscles, how to protect their strength, and how to give their body the building blocks it needs to thrive. The truth is, your body is capable of so much more than you've been led to believe. Even after 60, even after 70, even after 80, you can still grow muscle, still regain stamina, still walk with confidence. That's why I'm sharing this with you today. Because there are simple, natural, evidence-based tools you can use to fight back against muscle loss. And one of the most overlooked of those tools comes in the form of something you can drink every single day. Teas. Yes, teas. Not fancy supplements, not complicated powders, but simple teas you can find in your grocery store or order online. Teas that protect, heal, and build your muscle strength from the inside out. Now, I'm not talking about just feeling a little better after a cup of something warm. I'm talking about measurable, research-backed changes in how your body repairs and maintains muscle tissue. I'm talking about giving your muscles the antioxidants, the circulation support, and the energy optimization they need to stay strong as you age. Today, I'm going to share 3 specific teas you can start drinking this week. 3 teas that, when used together, can help you protect your strength, keep your joints stable, improve your walking, and most importantly, preserve your independence. And please don't stop listening after the first one, because the third tea I'll share with you is my personal favorite. It's the one that has the strongest research behind it for women over 60, and I've seen firsthand the difference it can make. So let's begin. The first tea is matcha green tea. Now, matcha isn't just a trend or a pretty latte in a coffee shop. It's one of the most powerful tools you can use for muscle protection. Unlike regular green tea, matcha is made from finely ground whole tea leaves. That means when you drink it, you're consuming the entire leaf, not just steeped water. And that gives you up to 137 times more of one of the most important compounds for muscle health, EGCG, or epigallocatechin gallate. This is an antioxidant powerhouse. Now, let me explain why this matters. After menopause, your estrogen levels drop dramatically. Most women only think of estrogen as a hormone that affects mood or hot flashes. But estrogen is actually a muscle-preserving hormone. It helps regulate protein synthesis, the process of repairing and maintaining muscle fibers. Without it, your muscles become more vulnerable to damage from something called oxidative stress. Think of oxidative stress as microscopic rust slowly eating away at your body's machinery. Over time, this rust frays the fibers of your muscles, leaving them weaker, less responsive, and more prone to fatigue. This is where EGCG from matcha comes in. EGCG acts like a protective coating over your muscle fibers. It neutralizes those damaging free radicals, reduces that microscopic rusting, and encourages your body to repair small tears before they turn into bigger problems. Imagine your muscles like a woven fabric. Over the years, oxidative stress pulls at the threads, loosening them, making the whole fabric weaker. EGCG is like a weaver coming in, sealing the edges, strengthening the fabric, and even stitching up small frays before they unravel. That's what this compound does for your muscles. But matcha doesn't stop there. It also supports your metabolism by increasing fat oxidation. Now, that's just the scientific way of saying your body becomes more efficient at using stored fat for fuel. When that happens, your muscles are able to save more of their stored glycogen, the quick energy they need for activity. And when your muscles can hold on to their glycogen, you suddenly find it's easier to walk longer distances, climb stairs without feeling like your legs are made of cement, and keep up with activities that used to leave you drained. I've had women in their late 60s and early 70s tell me that after just 3 to 4 weeks of adding matcha into their daily routine, they notice real changes. One woman told me, "Dr. Williams, I walked up the hill by my house without stopping for the first time in years." Another said her legs no longer felt like lead by the end of the day. These aren't miracles. These are simply the results of finally giving the body what it's been missing for so long. When it comes to preparing matcha, quality matters. I always recommend ceremonial-grade matcha if you can find it. It costs a little more, but you only need half a teaspoon per serving, and the benefits far outweigh the cost. Always whisk it, don't just stir, because whisking helps break up the clumps and fully release the beneficial compounds. And here's a little tip: mix it with unsweetened oat milk and a pinch of cinnamon. The oat milk gives you a creamy texture and a little extra support for blood sugar stability, and the cinnamon adds both flavor and an additional blood sugar balancing effect. If you're sensitive to caffeine, enjoy it before 2 o'clock in the afternoon so it doesn't interfere with your sleep, because sleep is where your muscles do some of their most important repair work. Matcha is not just a trendy drink. It is a daily investment in your muscle health, one that pays off in better balance, stronger walking, and greater independence. Now, that's just the first tea, and we're only getting started. Now, the second tea I want to share with you is Rooibos, sometimes called red bush tea. This one is very dear to me because I've seen women who thought their stiffness and soreness were simply part of getting older finally find relief after making Rooibos a daily ritual. Rooibos is naturally caffeine-free, which already makes it a wonderful choice for the evening hours. But beyond its calming nature, what makes it powerful is its unique antioxidant profile. Compounds like aspalathin and nothofavigen, which you won't find in most other plants. These compounds target something most of us don't talk about enough: inflammation in your muscles. Every time you move, whether it's going for a walk, doing a little gardening, or even bending down to pick something up, your muscles experience microscopic tears. These tiny tears are not dangerous, they're part of the why your grows stronger. But the problem comes when inflammation lingers around those tears for too long. Instead of healing and becoming stronger, the tissue stiffens, flexibility decreases, and over time you find yourself becoming more prone to injuries, aches, and fatigue. This is where Rooibos comes in. Those rare antioxidants help calm that lingering inflammation, allowing your muscles to repair properly. They also gently widen your blood vessels, improving circulation so that oxygen and nutrients can actually get into the muscle fibers where they're needed most. I like to describe it as opening a door. Without Rooibos, the door stays half shut, and your muscles only receive a trickle of what they need. With Rooibos, the door opens wider, and suddenly the repair process can speed up. But there's another reason I consider Rooibos essential for women over 60. It helps to lower cortisol, your primary stress hormone. Many women don't realize how much stress plays into muscle breakdown. When cortisol levels stay elevated for long periods, the body shifts into a protective mode. And unfortunately, part of that process involves breaking down muscle tissue for quick energy. Think about that for a moment. Stress, whether from poor sleep, health concerns, or even feelings of loneliness, can literally eat away at your muscles. I've seen this happen time and again. Women who are under constant stress seem to lose strength faster, even if they're eating well. Rooibos helps put a stop to that cycle. By gently lowering cortisol, it signals to your body that it's safe to repair, rebuild, and preserve muscle instead of breaking it down. This is especially important in the evening, because nighttime is when your body is designed to do its deepest healing. If cortisol is too high, your sleep is restless, your repair processes are interrupted, and you wake up feeling sore and drained instead of restored. But when you give your body Rooibos in the evening, you're setting the stage for both better sleep and better muscle recovery. I remember one of my patients, a woman in her early 70s, who came to me saying she'd nearly given up gardening because every time she spent even an hour in her yard, she felt sore for days afterward. We added Rooibos to her nightly routine, just one strong cup an hour before bed. Within 3 weeks, she reported something remarkable. She told me, "Dr. Williams, I woke up the day after gardening and felt only a little stiffness. Not pain." That may sound like a small change, but for her, it meant the difference between continuing with something she loved and giving it up. That's the kind of change these teas can create. If you decide to add Rooibos into your life, I recommend choosing loose-leaf Rooibos if possible, because it has a richer flavor and higher antioxidant content than most tea bags. Brew it for at least 6 minutes. You don't have to worry about bitterness, because Rooibos stays naturally smooth even when brewed longer. For an added boost, I often suggest sprinkling in a pinch of turmeric and just a drop of honey. The turmeric adds an extra anti-inflammatory punch, and the honey not only soothes the throat, but also contains its own trace antioxidants. Make it a calming ritual. Sit down, breathe, and enjoy that warm cup as part of your wind down each night. Think of it as wrapping your muscles in a blanket, preparing them for deep, restorative sleep. Now let's talk about the third tea, and this one might surprise you. Oolong tea. Oolong doesn't get nearly as much attention as green tea or black tea, but in my view, it is one of the most underrated tools for maintaining strength after 60. What makes oolong so special is that it sits right between green and black tea in the way it's processed. It has the antioxidant power of green tea and the circulation-supporting flavonoids of black tea, creating a unique balance that's especially effective for your muscles. Let me explain why. Inside every muscle cell, you have tiny structures called mitochondria. I like to call them your batteries, because that's exactly what they are. They produce the energy your muscles use to move, to carry, to climb, to live. But as we age, those batteries don't hold their charge as well. They become sluggish, less efficient, and that's one of the key reasons older women often feel tired so quickly during physical activity. You might notice that halfway up a flight of stairs, your legs suddenly feel heavy, or carrying grocery bags feels like you've run a marathon. That's not just age, that's your mitochondria struggling to keep up. Oolong tea has compounds that support mitochondrial health, helping those batteries recharge more efficiently. What that means in real life is that your muscles can produce more usable energy from the same amount of oxygen and nutrients. You start to feel less fatigue from the same activities. Walking up a hill doesn't leave you gasping. Climbing stairs doesn't feel like dragging weights. Carrying a basket of laundry becomes manageable instead of exhausting. But here's the part that excites me most as a physician. Research suggests oolong may stimulate muscle protein synthesis. That's the biological process by which your body creates new muscle fibers. And yes, even in your 60s, 70s, and 80s, your body can still build new muscle. This is something I emphasize again and again. You are not past the point of growth. The key is giving your body the right triggers. Oolong provides one of those triggers. Pair it with even light resistance exercises, like bodyweight squats, resistance bands, or lifting light weights, and you give your muscles the message to grow stronger. I had a patient in her late 60s who started drinking oolong mid-morning every day. She paired it with a simple 15-minute exercise routine. Nothing fancy, just some gentle resistance band work and squats from her kitchen chair. 3 months later, she told me her stamina had transformed. She was walking further than she had in years and could carry her groceries without feeling drained. Again, this wasn't magic. It was simply the right combination of fuel, repair, and gentle movement. If you're going to add oolong, I recommend looking for high mountain varieties, as they tend to be richer in antioxidants. Brew it with water that's just under boiling, around 90 degrees Celsius or 194 Fahrenheit, for about 3 minutes. Drink it in the late morning or early afternoon. It provides a gentle lift in energy without the jitters, and it won't interfere with your sleep. Pair it with a protein-rich snack, such as Greek yogurt, nuts, or boiled eggs, to maximize its effect on muscle protein synthesis. Now that you know about these 3 teas, Matcha for protection, Rooibos for repair, and Oolong for building, the real magic happens when you bring them together. Think of them as a team, each one working at a different time of day to give your muscles round-the-clock support. Matcha in the morning to shield your muscles from oxidative stress and energize your body for the day ahead. Oolong in the late morning or early afternoon to fuel your mitochondria and encourage new muscle growth while you move. Rooibos in the evening to lower stress hormones, calm inflammation, and set the stage for deep overnight repair. This creates what I call a 24-hour muscle care cycle. Your muscles are being protected during the day, energized while you're active, and healed during your sleep. And when you repeat that cycle day after day, week after week, the results build. Stronger muscles, better balance, greater confidence in every step you take. But I want to be very clear. Teas alone are not enough. You must move your body. You don't need a gym membership or complicated equipment. Simple daily activity, walking, gentle resistance exercises, stretching, tells your body we still need these muscles. Without that signal, even the best nutrition will fall short. But when you combine movement with these teas, you create the perfect environment for your muscles to thrive. I've watched women in their 70s who once feared they'd need a cane or walker regain the confidence to walk miles with friends. I've seen women in their 80s carry groceries, play with grandchildren, and move freely again. Not because age reversed, but because they nourished and supported their muscles the right way. That is the power of simple daily habits, and that is the power of these 3 teas. So I invite you to make this part of your life. Begin tomorrow morning. Whisk up half a teaspoon of matcha and sip it slowly as you start your day. Later, when you need a gentle lift, brew yourself a cup of oolong and pair it with a little movement. And in the evening, let Rooibos soothe you into a restful night of deep repair. Repeat it daily, and let your muscles thank you by carrying you with strength, balance, and confidence for years to come. Because you deserve not just to live long, but to live strong.